शिव जय जय गोरा चांदीर हरति कुशोभा जय शिव जय जय गोरा चांदीर आरती कुशोभा जय जानवी तटवने जगमन लोभा जगमन देवा दक्षिण निताय चा मामे गदाधर दक्षिण निताय निकट अद्वैत श्री वासा छत्रधारा बाबा से आचे गोराचा रत्न सिंह साने बसे आचे गोरा आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगण देव नर हरे आदि करे चामार ढुलाय रसांजाया मुकुंद वासो घोषादिगाय शिव शंकर बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शंकर माधुरा मृदंग बाजे परम रसाला मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर मधुर मधुरा बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर मधुर मधुरा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे कोटे चंद्र जिने वदान उज्ज्वला बहु कोटे चंद्र गला देशर बना माला तोरे झलमाला शिवा शिव शुकनारदा प्रेमे गद गदा शिव शुकना गुरभकाति वे नदा देखे गोरार संपदा जय जय गौरा चांदे आरती को शोभा जय जाह्नवी तटवने जगमनलोभा जाह्नवी तटवने जगमनलोभा जाना माना लोभा बोल जगा जाना माना लोभा गौरांगे रारते को शोभा जग जाना माना लोभा गौरा गौरांगे रारते को शोभा जग जाना माना लोभा गौरा बोल जगा जाना माना लोभा जगा इत्ताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने नमः विष्णुपदाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी स्वचत देशतारिणे Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chan Chan Harivan Chan Harivan Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol sab gaiye chant everyone Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol chant everyone Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hola Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bola Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bola Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama राम राम हरे हरे हरि बोल सब गाइए हरि बोल बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 वो चैंट एवरीवन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राजा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय बोल गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय ओ राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरे गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय हरि बोल बोल गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय राधा बोलो राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 बोल क्या सब गाइए बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे और हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे और हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोला हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ जय बालादेवा जय सुभद्रा जय बालादेवा जय सुभद्रा जय बालादेवा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जय नित्य गौर सुंदर जय नित्य गौर सुंदर नित्य गौर सुंदर जय नित्य गौर सुंदर। और जय राधा माधव राधे राधे जय राधा बोलो जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपदा जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपदा। नित्य गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद हे दीवान के जैसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज के जय। जय ओम नित्य लीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरथ ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज के जय। गौर केशवदास बाबा जी महाराज के जय। गुरु परंपरा के जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद के जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर के जय। प्रेम से गौ जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद के जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन के जय। श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम के जय। मथुरा वृंदावन द्वारका पुरी अयोध्या धाम के जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुर धाम के जय। भगवान जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा श्री सुदर्शन चक्र के जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव जी के जय। श्री श्री निताय गुण निताय गौर सुंदर के जय। गंगा माँ यमुना मय के जय। वृंददेव भक्त देव के जय। समस्त भक्त वृंद के जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के जय। संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। इस्कान बाल्टीमोर यात्रा की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरे 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 बोल। ऑल ग्लोरी टू सम्मेट हरे कृष्णा। All to the summit with Hare Krishna. All to the summit with Hare Krishna. All glory, Shri Guru Gauranga. All glory, Prabhupada.
Namaste Nara Shimaya. Namaste Nara Shimaya. Pralada Lada Daine. हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः शिलाताङ्कनकलाये ईतो नश्मा पर तो नश्मा yato yamita to nashma bahe nashma rida ye nashma bahe नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखाम् अद्भुता शृङ्गा दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवदृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय भक्तराज प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज भक्तराज प्रहलाद जय प्रहलाद महाराज निताय गौर हरि बो हरि बो हरि बो गौर हरि बो जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद श्री नरसिंह भगवान की भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज जी की गौर प्रेमानंद
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we welcome everyone to ISKCON Baltimore and the board of Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagana Bali Subhadra Mai, most beautiful Shri Radha Madhav. First, I'd like to thank you, the pujaris. The deity looks so amazing and beautiful. Loud Haribol for them, please. Today's feast will be is cooked by Siddhu Prabhu and Pancha Prabhu. So thank you so much, gratitude for them. Thank you so much. Anybody coming for the first time here today? Oh, wonderful. What's your name? Annie? Shravan. You're from UMBC or outside? Haribol. You can loud Haribol for them, please. Haribol. Shyam Bhakti Mataji is in the back side. So if you have any questions, Mataji, raise your hands. She's there. So after that, if you have any questions, you can meet her and talk to her. We have a small gift for you also. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you for this. Appreciate that. So for those who are new, these prayers we sing. One of these prayers is Lord Narsingdev prayers. What it is, they're devotees, just like in the family, there's mother and father grow up as protection. Our mother and fathers, we consider Lord Narsingdev. So these prayers are there, which says, please protect us from all kinds of eventuality that we can protect ourselves. Speaking of that, the same Lord Narsingdev's appearance day is coming very soon on the 5th of May, and we have a jam-packed program. We have a wonderful program, and I'll ask Shyam Prabhu to do the announcements for that, please.
Hare Krishna. So it's May 4th, not 5th, and we have celebration in a temple starting from 3 o'clock onwards. So the pujaris, depending on the weather, so pujaris will arrange either outside or inside, and we want to request, it's a working day next day. So all devotees who have signed up for Homa, please arrive on time. So by 3:45, if devotees could be here, then we could start the program at 4 o'clock, and it will go until 6, and then we will move inside, and then we'll have Abhishek over here. So right now, as of we speak, we have only limited seats, and almost 80% seats have gone already. So requesting devotees and families who want to participate in Homa, you can come and contact us, myself, Vidur Prabhu or Adhokshash Prabhu in a gift shop, so we can enroll you. This year, we have a very special yantra that we have got it made in India. We'll show the yantra next week on a TV. So we'll be giving that as a, gift for protection of your family, so that yantra will be blessed in the yagya. So please let us know. We'll assign you all for the Homa and Abhisheka inside the temple. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Regarding Sunday school activities and kids, Shyam Bhakti Mataji has been forefront doing wonderful services. So she has some announcement for the kids. So.
Hare Krishna. So we have a very vibrant Sunday school, and we've been doing a lot of activities in that Sunday school, right? Sanvi, Akshita, you like it? We've been doing a lot of activities. We are learning gardening, we are doing art, Shastra memorization, Shastra reading, and so many other things. So please enroll your kids. We have a table outside, and make sure that they avail this wonderful opportunity. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So one last announcement. We were updating you about our Rath Yatra issues which was going on. We prayed to Lord, we bribed Lord by giving Chappan Bhog, and looks like the efforts are paying off right now. That's what happened in this Kali Yuga. Everything through bribery works out, so Lord is no different. We met with the city last week on the Baltimore police, and they have agreed us to give the date and the McKeldin Square. Only thing we have to just work on in the parade route. So hopefully this week is the final meeting, and we can update you on that one. But please keep praying until the county is very chanchal. You never know, they can change the ideas. So please keep praying until we get a permit in our hands. Cannot say anything, but I think things are looking very, very positive. So thank you all who came and helped out and prayed for Lord. Thank you so much. So now we are very grateful. There's a very special devotee who's here, and I'd like to welcome him. First time he's coming here. His name is Arjun Sakha Prabhu. Hari Bol. Prabhuji doesn't need an introduction. He's known everywhere. Many times he's known as younger brother Amrendra Prabhu. But now he's known as our dear friend of ISKCON Baltimore, just like Amrendra Prabhu. He's a very charismatic leader. Youth really just loves associating with him. He's been empowered by his Gurudev, Radha Govind Maharaj, and under his auspicious guidance, he came here. He's an information technology, information systems degree, and he works on a lot of youth all over the world, giving wonderful seminars. He's primarily based in Seattle, and there he has worked with the youth, cultivating their japa, their sadhana, wonderful Krishna Leelas, Krishna drama, japa calls, everything. And I think it has been very wonderful. He's also working with Radheshyam Prabhuji, who's very dear to us, and in working on, as Radheshyam Prabhu is GDO for the Youth Congregation Development in Western, and he's also involved with it, trying to spread the teachings of Sri Chaitanya to all the younger generations for that. So without taking too much time, Arjun Sakha Prabhuji, thank you so much for coming.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki can be a bit much louder. Shri Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. Yes. Very, very happy to be here at the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Madhav in Baltimore. The place where I come from, Seattle, it's very interesting. I was just thinking of this logic. Here the deities are Shri Shri Radha Madhav, and there the deities are Shri Shri Radha Neela Madhav. Here the temple president is Neela Madhav Prabhu. It would have been a perfect circle if there the president would have been Madhav Prabhu. But very, very happy. I almost feel I'm in Seattle when I see the deities. The name is also pretty much the same. Their appearance is same, and seeing the devotees here so enthusiastic. I don't know whether I can do justice, but in the 45 minutes that we have, let us try to discuss something from the pastimes of Sri Krishna. But before we start, let us chant the Mangalacharan prayers, also called as the invocation prayers. Seek auspiciousness from our spiritual superiors like Srila Prabhupada, and then get started in our today's discussion. If we have these prayers by heart, kindly chant along. And if we do not, we can as well listen. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Rama ki, Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki. We see that yesterday we celebrated the auspicious occasion of Akshaya Tritiya. And in Vrindavan it was celebrated one day later. What does this word mean? Akshaya. In Sanskrit it's broken into two words. The word Kshaya means perishable, something that doesn't last long. And Akshaya, a negation has been used. Kshaya means perishable. Akshaya, that thing which is imperishable. And Tritiya means day 3. So anything devotional you start on the day of Akshaya Tritiya, it's a guarantee. The Supreme Lord gives a guarantee. Anything devotional you start on Akshaya Tritiya is going to be imperishable. Whether it's chanting more rounds, whether it's coming to the temple, serving the deities, honoring prasad, that's also a limb of bhakti. Whatever you start on this day, it's going to be imperishable. In our ISKCON temples, it's generally seen, when we're talking about prasadam, it's the most interesting limb of bhakti. More than katha, prasadam attracts. For a katha, for a Sunday feast katha, we may have about 100. Just for example. When it's time for prasadam, that 100 becomes 200. Where the extra 100 comes from, no one knows. It is achintya. Where the extra 100 comes from, we don't know. And it's a commonality we find in most temples. The number just multiplies for prasadam. So Akshaya, Kshaya means perishable. And Akshaya, that activity which we do on this day, which is imperishable. And Sri Krishna has so many pastimes that occur on the day of Akshaya Tritiya. One time, our Krishna, he was very small, not even knowing to walk. He was in the cradle. And he was trying his way to get down from the cradle. Baby hands, baby legs, trying his way to get down from the cradle. That Krishna who drives the chariot during the Mahabharata, that Krishna who runs with a wheel during the Kurukshetra battle, is having baby walks and baby talks in the land of Vrindavan. So in Vrindavan, logic doesn't work. Love supersedes all logic. The logic that we have doesn't apply to the land of Vrindavan. So Krishna one time is trying to get down from his cradle, and he somehow comes to his mother. Who's the mother of Krishna? Yashoda Maiya. Yes, he comes to Yashoda Maiya. And as he comes to Yashoda, he sees his father is deciding to go on a Tirth-yatra, a pilgrimage place. And while Krishna was small, there would be a lake where they would take bath, also called as Nanda Sarovar. In Vrindavan, the water bodies are classified into 3 types. The smallest water body is called as a pukur. What is it called? Pukur. Then you have a little bigger water body which is called as a kund. What's the name? Give me some examples of some kunds in Vrindavan. Radha Kund, Sham Kund, Govind Kund. One more. Uddhav Kund, Apsara Kund, Surabhi Kund, yes. Vrinda Kund, yes. And the biggest water body that is seen is the Sarovar. So the gradation is Pukur, Kund, and then Sarovar. Give me some examples of Sarovar in Vrindavan. Kusum Sarovar, Pavan Sarovar, Prem Sarovar. One more. Nanda Sarovar, yes. Nanda Sarovar. So Krishna would take bath in Nanda Sarovar. It was called Nanda Sarovar because Nanda Maharaj is the king. So he would take bath every day, and he would, Krishna on one side of the shoulder and Balaramji on one side of the shoulder, and both brothers were carried royally to take bath. And this would go on every single day. And one day, when Krishna went to Mother Yashoda, he got to know that his father is going for a Tirth-yatra, a pilgrimage place. You see, oftentimes in India, they go for a Tirth-yatra, Char Dham. They go to the 4 holy places. So Nanda Maharaj also decided that he wants to go on a Tirth-yatra. The day was scheduled. And as Krishna was going to Mother Yashoda and talking to Mother Yashoda, he saw Mother Yashoda was cooking. She was cooking the items that Nanda Maharaj can take on this Tirth-yatra so that it doesn't get spoiled. Something that can last long. You see, the initial days when Srila Prabhupada was there at 26 2nd Avenue, these were the initial days of ISKCON, where programs would take place in the storefront. So Prabhupada would speak, and oftentimes we see when it's too very philosophical, it's a bouncer. It goes over the head. So naturally we stretch, we pick up our phone, we get distracted because when the katha is too philosophical, you just kind of get distracted. So Prabhupada was speaking, these are the initial early days, no one resonates with the philosophy. And Prabhupada saw this pattern that many would come, but midway into the class, people would also get up and walk out. So Prabhupada thought of a plan. That's a very interesting plan. Prabhupada thought of a plan. The next time they came, Prabhupada kept buckets of prasadam near the door. So now what happens? You enter for the class, you hear the class, now you get up because you want to go out of the class. But when you get up and go out of the class, you stumble upon buckets of puri and chole and dal and rice. Now out of etiquette, you cannot have it because so many are sitting for the class. So they would stand there and again come back and sit for the class. Not because they're interested in class, but after the class they won't have prasadam. So it's almost like you enter the class and yet gatvana nivartante. You once come inside, you cannot go out. Prabhupada had this strategy in 26 2nd Avenue. So Maya Yashoda was cooking. She was preparing this way. And Krishna got to know that Nanda Maharaj the next day is going to go for a pilgrimage. The next day it came and Nanda Maharaj got up. As Nanda Maharaj got up on this day, which was Akshay Tritiya, Nanda Maharaj got up to take a bath in the morning in the Nanda Sarovar. Of course, those are the days when you don't have a jacuzzi, no spa, no hot water sauna, nothing of these sorts. They would go out and take a bath. And as Nanda Maharaj went, he saw a very regal man with a beard, with dust smeared upon his body. So Nanda Maharaj looked up to him and said, "Who are you?" And this person said, "I am Prayagraj." Nanda Maharaj said, "Prayagraj? I don't know anyone Prayagraj. Like, I'm the king of Vrindavan. I don't know anyone by the name Prayagraj." He said, "Oh Baba, I am the Prayagraj. The Prayag where people go. I am his personification." Nanda Baba saw and said, "What are you doing in Vrindavan? You are a holy place personified. What are you doing here in the land of Vrindavan?" Prayagraj said, "Baba, what should I say? Every year people come and take bath. पाप वो करते हैं, धुलने का काम मेरा है. They commit sins and I have to wash their sins. So they come and take bath in me and they wash themselves. But where should I go? There should be a place where I can also go. They are coming to me and taking shelter, but where should I go?" So Nanda Maharaj said, "Why are you here?" Prayagraj said, "I have come here to take bath in Nanda Sarovar so that I can get purified." Prayagraj is coming to Vrindavan Dham to get himself purified. So Nanda Maharaj said, "Acha." Then he looked at the other side, and there were a few ladies standing, and they were also taking bath. So Nanda Maharaj went there. He said, "Who are you?" "I am the king and I have never seen you here." One lady said, "Oh, I am Ganga." And second said, "I am Kaveri." Third said, "I am Narmada." Nanda Maharaj is scratching his head and thinking, "I am the king. I have never seen them." They said, "Baba, we are Ganga personified, Yamuna personified, Kaveri personified. We have come here to purify ourselves." Ganga, Kaveri, Narmada, Prayagraj are coming to the land of Vrindavan to get themselves purified. Ganga Devi is glorified so much in the Shastra. Bhagirati Sukadaini Mata Tava Jala Mahima Nigame Khyata Naham Jane Tava Mahimanam Pahi Kripa Mahimam Agyanam. Bhagirati Sukadaini Data. Who is Ganga? She is Bhagirati. Because the king Bhagirath got her down. Likewise, we find Narottam Das Thakur glorifies Ganga so much in Shastra. Gangara parasha hoile paschate pavan দর্শনে পবিত্র করো এ তোমার গুণ। Gangara parsa hoile paschate pavan. Narottam Das Thakur says, if someone wants to get purified, Ganga doesn't come to them, but you have to take a flight, spend thousands of dollars, and go to Ganga and take bath. Ganga doesn't come. We have to take the endeavor. But Narottam Das Thakur says, there is someone more glorious than Ganga. Do we want to know who's more glorious than Ganga? Yes? No? Prasadam? Do we want to know who's more glorious than Ganga? Let it be loud enough. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Darshane pavitra karo ei tumara gun. He says, O sadhu, O Vaishnav, you are more glorious than Ganga. Why? Because for Ganga, I have to go to Ganga. But O sadhu, you are walking around from place to place, place to place. I don't have to go to you, but you personally come to me and shower me with your glance. Darshane pavitra karo ei tumara gun. When someone looks at a pure Vaishnav, all the sins are destroyed. And Narottam Das Thakur says that person is way more glorious than even Ganga. So here all the personifications were there, taking their bath in the land of Vrindavan Dham. Krishna, when he got up in the morning, he saw Nanda Maharaj was still there. He said, Baba, you had made a plan to go to Tirth Yatra. What happened? Now you're not going? Nanda Maharaj said, Oh Krishna, why should I go? When Prayagraj himself is coming here, Ganga herself is coming here, Kaveri herself is coming here, why should I go to any Tirth Yatra? Vrindavan Dham has everything. Nanda Maharaj said, now that I'm there in Vrindavan Dham, I don't know about any other dham, and I don't want to know about any other dham. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. This beautiful pastime that our acharyas explain occurred on the day of Akshaya Tritiya. So many pastimes Krishna performs on the day of Akshaya Tritiya. We always talk about Krishna, Radha Madhav, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who is this personality? And oftentimes we get different answers of who this personality is. But we see this word Krishna can again be broken down into Krish and Na. The word Krish means akarshan, to attract. And Na means Ananda. Krishna is like that magnet. Anyone who comes in front of him, he is like that magnet and we are like the iron filings. Our iron filing will naturally get attracted to a magnet, except if it is rusted. If an iron filing has rust, then it doesn't get attracted to the all-powerful magnet Krishna. And likewise, if the jiva has the rust of lust, then he doesn't get attracted to the Supreme Lord. So who is Krishna? Krish means attraction, akarshan, and Na means Ananda. He who attracts our heart and fills our heart with a lot of joy is Krishna. We naturally find this process is so happy. We don't get paid. Outside when we go, we strive so much and hours we work. And there is always anxiety. There is constant anxiety. Is there someone who can put their hand up and say, Prabhuji, I have no anxiety? Is there anyone, Shurveer, Balavan, who can put their hand up and say, I have no anxiety? Well, if you think you have no anxiety, let me remind you something. There is one anxiety we all have, and it's like a Sudarshan Chakra hovering upon our head. Do you want to know that anxiety? I-140. Priority date. Vermont Center. California Center. See? There is one anxiety, like a Sudarshan Chakra, it's hovering. So we all have anxiety. Shastra explains if one wants to get rid of this anxiety, Hari Katha is that medium. By hearing about Krishna, who is that attractive, he can attract our heart and fill our heart with so much joy that there is no room for anything else, including anxiety. Where did Srimati Radharani perform her pastimes? What is the place? Barsana, yes, Barsana. This word Barsana also has the same understanding. Varsha basically means rain, and Na means Ananda. That place where Radharani showers torrential rainfall of prem and showers our heart with joys, Varshana. And of course, the va in Braj becomes ba, so it becomes also Barsana. So, who is Krishna? Chaitanya Charitamrita explains, Purusha Yoshita Kiba Sthavara Jangam Sarva Chitta Karshaka Sakshat Manmatha Madan. Who is Krishna? Purusha, he attracts the male. Yoshita, he attracts the female. Krishna not just attracts female, he also attracts the male. Sthavara Jangam, he attracts the moving, he attracts the non-moving. He attracts the deers, he attracts the cows, he attracts the trees, he attracts the grass, he attracts the creepers. There is no one who can run away from the attractive feature of Krishna. The more you run away, the more Krishna is going to catch you. Sarva Chitta Akarshaka Sakshat Manmata Madhan. So much so that Krishna attracts even Cupid. That Cupid who churns our mind. That Cupid who churns our mind, when he got to know about Krishna, he went to Vrindavan, ready to shoot his arrow at Krishna. But when Krishna looked at him, just one glance of Krishna, that Cupid who churns our mind, his mind got churned looking at the form of Krishna. Cupid churns our mind, Krishna churns his mind, and Radharani churns the mind of that Krishna who churns the mind of Cupid who churns our mind. How wonderful. There is no one who can escape from Krishna's attractive feature. One time, one Indian chess player, he came to Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And he said, he was a newcomer. So he came to Srila Radhanath Maharaj and said, Maharaj, how did you get attracted to our Krishna? He said, Maharaj, how did you get attracted to our Krishna? Because Maharaj is coming from this country and he was an Indian chess player. So he just wanted to understand what the logic is. He said, Maharaj, how did you get attracted to our Krishna? Now he was a chess player. So look at Maharaj's reply. Maharaj replied to him in chess language. Srila Radhanath Maharaj said, this white boy got checkmated by the black king of Vraja. He said, this white boy got checkmated by the black king of Vrindavan. There is no one who can escape Krishna's merciful glance. So Krishna attracts the male, he attracts the female, he attracts the moving, he attracts the non-moving, he attracts Cupid, but doesn't end here. Krishna attracts even Lakshmi. When Narad Muni went to Vaikuntha and spoke about Krishna's beauty, Lakshmi got so enamored and attracted about the form of Krishna that she left Vaikuntha and came down to Vrindavan in Belwan. The Bhagavatam very beautifully describes the Nagapatnis, the wives of the demon Kaliya. They talk about this. Kasyanubhavo syanadeva vidmahe tavangri renu sparashadikara yadvanchaya shri lalanacharat Vihaya kamam shuchiradridavrata. The Nagapatnis, the wives of the demon Kaliya, they tell Krishna that, my dear Krishna, we don't know what our husband has done. He is so stupid. Matajis, please don't look at your husband. The Nagapatni said it, and they said it once. Please don't use that as an example. Kasyanubhavo syanadeva vidmai. The Nagapatnis, they say, our husband has not done anything. He has no adhikar, no qualification. But how is it that he is getting your lotus feet, while on the flip side, Lakshmi is doing so much tapasya, but still she is not getting anything? That Lakshmi, who's the consort of Narayan, has come down to hear the flute playing of Sri Krishna. We are talking about the wives of Kaliya speaking about their husband. I was at one place and one devotee was telling me, it's interesting how devotees can find a logic in every small thing. Prabhupada has given purport, but devotees have their own purport also sometimes, as an addition. I was at one place and one devotee was telling me that it's only in the Shastra that we find that father is not devotee and son is devotee. Hiranyakashipu not a devotee, son Prahlad Maharaj. He told me, Prabhuji, ye sab Shastra mein dikhta hai. In real life, you don't see it. Oftentimes, it's the other way. Parents are devotees, kids don't take up. One time, one boy went to his father and said, my dear father, Shri Ram became great by following his father, Dasharath Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj became great by not following his father, Hiranyakashipu. My dear father, what should I do? Should I follow you or not? Interesting question. Shri Ram became great by following his father, Dasharath Maharaj, correct? Prahlad Maharaj became great by not following his father, Hiranyakashipu. My dear father, what should I do? Should I follow you or not follow you? Father also very intelligent. Father said, my dear son, this is not Satya Yuga. This is not Treta Yuga, but this is Kali Yuga. And in Kali, it is good for both of us that we follow your mother. So that there is no grahastha dispute. Better we follow your mother. Ghar mein sukh shanti aave. Om Jai Jagadisha Hare. There is sukh shanti in the home, there is complete peace. The grahastha jokes are always very interesting. It catches attention very fast. Very relatable. So, we are talking about Lakshmi. That Lakshmi for whom we hanker so much. That Lakshmi is serving the feet of Narayan. If we just pause, dear devotees, and think, we are running behind Lakshmi. If someone is running behind Lakshmi and not wanting Narayan, it is like Ravana from Ramayana. Why? Ravana wanted Sita, didn't want Ram. Likewise, if we are simply running behind Lakshmi but not wanting Narayan or Krishna in our life, this is like Ravana mentality. The Supreme Lord doesn't like it. And no wife will like it when she is wanted but the husband is not respected. So ideal bhakti is where we worship Narayan or where we worship Krishna. Wherever the husband is glorified, naturally the wife will be there. Wherever Madhava is glorified, naturally Lakshmi will be there. And we find, you see, during Prabhupada's time, all of Prabhupada's disciples were serving Prabhupada. But the flow income of money was naturally there. Srila Prabhupada had a very dear disciple by the name Jayananda Prabhu. And oftentimes we know Jayananda Prabhu for the Rath Yatra carts. Jayananda Prabhu was a mechanical engineer from Ohio State University. Very, very qualified. Very erudite scholar. And he was working outside. He was having a 9-to-5 job. That 9-to-5 job that we love the most, that we look up to. Oftentimes we are the most happiest on a Friday evening and we are miserable on a Sunday night. Friday evening we know, 2 din hai. By the time it's Sunday night, back to square one, jana hai fir se. Jayananda Prabhu was working a 9-to-5 job and he realized if I keep working 9-to-5, I cannot serve Prabhupada in the spirit that I want to. So he decided to quit. And he wanted a job where he is the boss. Now where will you get such a job? Unless until you have your own startup or company or whatever. So he decided to drive a taxi. Mechanical engineer from Ohio State University, driving a taxi. Again, these stunts are performed by expert professionals. Please do not try it in your life. They have done it, and it is good only if they do it. If we do it, it will not work out. Jayananda Prabhu decides to drive taxi, and every single day he would drive taxi. And from that money that he would get, he would give it to Prabhupada. When he left his 9-to-5 job, Jayananda Prabhu at that time had $5,000 as his savings. The day he got initiated, he gave all the $5,000 as Guru Dakshina to Srila Prabhupada. Not that Prabhupada asked him, but Jayananda Prabhu. Now we are talking about 1970s, dear devotees. $5,000 even now is a lot of money. Rewind 50 years back. How much was $5,000? And he gave it to Srila Prabhupada. Jayananda Prabhu started driving taxi. And as he was doing this day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out, eventually he had only one set of clothing, white t-shirt and a blue trouser. And now they had holes underarm, the holes in pant. So the devotees, they told Jayananda Prabhu that, why don't you go and buy a new set of clothing? He said, no, this is Prabhupada's money. How can I use Prabhupada's money for myself? Now he was the only person who was earning and giving to Prabhupada. And now this driving is also for Prabhupada only. But still he was so fearful that this is Prabhupada's money. Prabhupada can use this money in so many other ways. Why should I use that for my clothing? So he said, no. I will wear dhoti and kurta and I will drive. Now, please imagine, 1970, who will get into your car when the Uber driver is wearing dhoti and kurta? Imagine you book an Uber driver to go to the airport and the person who comes is a dhoti and kurta. Now, of course, if it's a devotee who's going to get into the car, it is ecstasy. If we see the driver is wearing dhoti and kurta, for the devotee it is ecstasy. It is romancha kampa. It is ecstasy. But for a normal person, it's a little odd. It's too very foreign for them. So Jayananda Prabhu, he said, no, I cannot use it. I will wear dhoti and kurta. Devotee said, please understand, no one is going to get into your car. Why didn't you just buy one set of clothing? So somehow they convinced him and they took him to a mall. Jayananda Prabhu went inside the mall. From one aisle to another aisle to another aisle, he was saying for the cheapest clothing. He picked up one t-shirt and he said, oh, this is $10. In $10, what all Prabhupada can do? Why should I use a $10 upon myself? The devotee said, Are Baba, this is for your clothing. Don't see money here. This is for your clothing. So he said, no, this is $10. So devotee said, Acha. Then he said, let's go to the trouser section. They went to the trouser section. The trouser was about $8. Jayananda Prabhu said, $8. What all Prabhupada can do in $8? The devotee said, you either buy a t-shirt or you buy a trouser. When we go to t-shirt, you're saying $10. When you're going to trouser, you're saying $8. Buy something. They somehow convinced Jayananda Prabhu. And Jayananda Prabhu said, I'll buy a trouser. He looked at the trouser. He saw it was $8. His heart was still not ready to accept. What will Prabhupada think? This is Prabhupada's money. He can use it for book distribution. He can use it for printing books. Now finally, devotees, they told Jayananda Prabhu, let's do something. You are not ready to shell out money. And we cannot see you in this tattered clothes. So let's do one thing. They gave him the idea of shoplifting. Now I told you, please don't try it. Just hear it, but please don't try it. Because shoplifting is a felony in America. So please don't go and try and say, Arjun Saka Prabhu said in Sunday feast we can do. That is not what I am saying. Jayananda Prabhu, they convinced him somehow. And now he tucked the trouser inside his t-shirt and was walking. Now what do you think is going to happen? The moment he reached outside, it started beeping. Beep, 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 it started beeping. And the security guards came and they removed. It was almost like, the way it was stuck in, it was almost like Jayananda Prabhu was pregnant. So they removed the trouser. And they said, you shoplifted. You stole. And Jayananda Prabhu said, yes, I stole. Now he didn't try to justify. He said, yes, I stole. This went to a court case. You're talking about the 1970s. It went to a court case. The store manager, he complained. And it went to a court case. And the judge came, and Jayananda Prabhu was standing. The judge came and said, why did you do it? You seem a very qualified person. You are a mechanical engineer. Why did you do it? He said, no, I am not a gentleman. And that's why I stole it. He said, no, you look like a gentleman. You look saintly. Why did you steal? He said, no. You please give me the punishment that you want to give. The judge said, no. Can you please elaborate? Why did you do it? What is the reason for doing it? Jayananda Prabhu, standing in the courtroom with tears in his eyes, he looked at the judge and said, my dear Lord, not this Lord, that Lord. He said, my dear Lord, my father, which means Srila Prabhupada, he came to America with 40 rupees which is about $7. When he came to America, he had no means of coming here. He came on a cargo ship. In the cargo ship, he had multiple heart attacks. In the cargo ship, he had no place to sit. My dear Lord, my father fasted for 10 days because he had nothing to eat. Before coming to the US, Srila Prabhupada fasted for 10 days. It's only when the Jaladuta reached Turkey and Captain Pandya got down and brought an electric cooker did Prabhupada eat for the first time after 10 days. Now, Jayananda Prabhu is telling all this to the judge. Now, it's too very foreign for him. He said, my spiritual father, when he reached America, he didn't know whether to go left or right because he had no GPS, no Alexa, no Hey Siri. Didn't know whether to go left or right. Did not have money. Did not have winter clothes. We are talking about September, Boston. It's freezing. It's freezing. He said, my father had nothing. Didn't know whether to go left or right. Didn't know the directions. Didn't have money. Didn't have winter clothes. And there was no one even to come and pick him up. And he is coming here only to spread the teachings of Sri Krishna, to spread the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He has struggled 70 years of his life only so that he can come here and create a revolution where he can spread the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now that we have all come together, we are trying our bit where we can slowly donate small things to Prabhupada in our endeavor to help him preach this mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord, you please tell me. He anyway doesn't have much money. And the money that we are getting, if I use this money to buy my clothes, what will Prabhupada think? This money can be used for his service, for his preaching. If I use it to buy my clothes, what will Srila Prabhupada think? And as Jayananda Prabhu, in the courtroom, Jayananda Prabhu was giving a Bhagavatam class. He was speaking Prabhupada Leelamrit in the courtroom. Oftentimes, when we serve a class, it's in a temple gathering where the atmosphere is conducive. Seldom do we serve a Bhagavatam class in a courtroom. Prabhupada disciples are amazing. They can start speaking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna in any setting. In any setting, absolutely. And it's not that Jayananda Prabhu had prepared what to speak. It was an ex-tempo. On the spot, he was speaking Prabhupada Leelamrit. The glories of Prabhupada as to how and what happened before he came here. And as the judge was hearing, the judge had tears. Jayananda Prabhu is having tears, the judge is having tears, the devotees who are sitting outside, they are having tears. So much so that after one point the judge said, you are free, you can go. You can go. He came inside as someone who shoplifted. He went outside as a kathakar. He went outside as someone who preached philosophy. And the store manager who was sitting in the courtroom, he was also having tears. He got up and he told the judge, let him go. He doesn't belong here. Set him free. And Jayananda Prabhu was set free. When Jayananda Prabhu came out, the store manager, he looked at Jayananda Prabhu and said, next time you want clothes, come and see me. You will get it for free. Please don't shoplift. Next time you want anything, in fact, whatever your temple wants, you please come. I will give it for free. Dear devotees, we will be amazed. Jayananda Prabhu was speaking in the courtroom, so much so that the judge was so inspired that he joined the Krishna consciousness movement just by hearing the class of Jayananda Prabhu in the courtroom. Srila Jayananda Prabhu ki. Devotees are very intelligent. Krishna Bhakta A Bada Chatur. Goes inside as a shoplifter, comes outside as someone who has made a congregation. He preached to the judge. The judge became an ISKCON devotee. During Prabhupada's time, miracles were a normal thing. So how much did the disciples of Prabhupada struggle to give us what we have? This land of Vrindavan that we are talking about, if not for Prabhupada and his disciples, probably none of us would desire to go on a Kartik Yatra to Vrindavan Dham and see places. How many of us would even know about Vrindavan, leave alone knowing its glories? Our Acharyas very beautifully describe Vrindavan is so glorious that it can be seen and realized at any point, in any circumstance. Srila Prabhupada was once in Paris, and he was there in a morning walk. And as Prabhupada was there in a morning walk, this was the last day, 1975, March of 1975. And that day he was leaving Paris. Prabhupada was there in a morning walk and he stopped. And he closed his eyes, and Prabhupada transcendently was swaying from one side to another side to another side. And Srila Prabhupada then he said, the breeze of Paris reminds me of Vrindavan Dham. Where is Prabhupada? Physically in Paris. Where is his heart? Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan is not Sthan Tirtha. It's not location based. It is Bhav Tirtha. Wherever we are, Vrindavan can be realized. In whatever circumstance we are in. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming down to give that mood, that glory of the land of Vrindavan. Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanaya Saddham Vrindavanam Ramya Kajit Upasanam Rajavadhum Varghena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumarto Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dhara Nappara. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why is he coming down? He's coming down to give the glories of Krishna Vrindavan and this land called Vrindavan Dham. So we're talking about Vrindavan Krishna. We were mentioning how Krishna attracts the male, the female, the moving, the non-moving, Cupid, Lakshmi, but doesn't end there. Krishna attracts even Vishnu. He attracts even Narayan. In the canto 10 of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have this story. When Krishna was there in Dwaraka, one Brahmana came to Krishna as a complaint because his child died. And generally it is believed when the king is not virtuous, that's when the citizens face problems. So he went and complained to Krishna that maybe you're not virtuous, maybe you're not following dharma. That personality who speaks about dharma, he is challenged that he is not following dharma. So this Brahmana went and complained that maybe you are not following dharma. And that is why my children died. And in this way, 8 children died, one after another, after another, after another. So when Arjuna got to know, Arjuna told the Brahmana, don't worry. The next time you have a child, I will protect your child. And the next child was born. And Arjuna removed his Gandiva. He removed his arrow. But again, nothing worked out. Again, the child disappeared and again the child died. So Arjuna is scratching his head and thinking, what is going on? My Gandiva is so powerful, but I am not able to protect this one child. He looked at Krishna. Krishna held the hand of Arjuna and took him to Vishnu. And when they went to Vishnu, all the children were safe. And Vishnu was keeping all the children. So Krishna looked at Vishnu and said, why are you doing it? And that time, Vishnu very beautifully looks at Krishna and he says, Dvejatmaja me yuvayo didikshunam mayo panita bhuvi dharma guptaye kalavati navavaner bharasuran hatveha bhuyastvaraye tamantime. Lord Vishnu prostrates himself in front of Krishna and says, my dear Lord, I am not inimical to these children. I have nothing to do against them. But it's been very long that you have been away from the spiritual world. I took these children only so that in the pretext of these children, you will come here to rescue and I can see your beautiful face. My dear Lord, I have nothing to do with them. So even Vishnu of Vaikuntha gets attracted to the form of Krishna in Vrindavan. The male gets attracted, the female gets attracted, the moving gets attracted, the non-moving gets attracted, Cupid gets attracted, Lakshmi gets attracted, Narayan gets attracted. Does it end here? No. Krishna gets attracted to himself. Now this is too much. In Kali Yuga it is understandable. We get attracted to ourselves. And there are so many things that go around as far as advertisement is concerned to make sure that we are most attractive. No one is as beautiful as their Facebook picture, and no one is as ugly as their Aadhaar card. From those from India will know. We try so many makeup and creams and so many other things so that we look beautiful. I remember when I was in India, when I was small, there was one very famous ad that will come to make yourself very beautiful. It was a Fair and Lovely ad. Hi, handsome, hi, handsome. Those from India will remember. And it would be such, the person will be standing. The moment he puts Fair and Lovely, now there is a nice shade of he being very fair. Every single thing is just tailored so that the person should look handsome. And whether it's true or not, we are convinced that we are more handsome than the person sitting next to us. Whether he or she accepts or not, we are convinced I am the most handsome, the most beautiful. So we get attracted to ourselves. This is Kali Yuga. But Krishna is someone who attracts others. He attracts the moving and non-moving. He attracts the Cupid. He attracts Lakshmi, attracts Narayan. He attracts himself. Srila Rupa Goswami explains, when Krishna was there in Dwaraka, Krishna looked at a pillar, jeweled pillar, and it was reflecting his own face, and Krishna looked at himself and started to think, who is this person who is more handsome than me? Who is this person who is more sweeter than me? This is the purified version. Krishna is looking at himself and glorifying the other person. But when we go in front of others, we are convinced that I am the most handsome. Whether there is hair here or no, we are convinced. Oftentimes it's like Sharat Purnima moon, completely shining. But we are convinced we are the most handsome. For those who are Telugu, you call it Gundu. Any Telugus here? Telugus are there. I always say this. There can never be a congregation without Telugu. Telugus are the building blocks. They are the backbone. They are the pillar. Yadi Telugu na hoy to tabe ki hoy to. There are two things that are guaranteed, dear devotees, in an ISKCON community, especially North America. One, in any ISKCON setting, Telugus will be there. If you want to see the amount of Telugus, please come to Seattle. It is Ito Telugu, Parato Telugu. Left, right, center, only Telugu. Just like here you have Gujaratis, there it is Telugu. So two things are guaranteed. Wherever Telugus are there, IT jobs will be there, 100%. It is ecstasy for Telugus when they see IT jobs. And likewise, wherever Gujaratis are there, laundromat, gas station, hotel, yes, motel, hotel, business. Gujarati's business, Telugu's IT. So we see Shri Krishna, who's so attractive, attracts everyone. Now he's attracting himself. Rupa Goswami explains, Aparita Kali Purva Kaschamatkara Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Gauranitaya ki, Shri Jagannath, Shri Baladev, Shri Subhadra ki. Srila Rupa Goswami explains that Krishna is attracting even himself. So if Krishna can attract so many personalities and Krishna can attract himself, we can be rest assured that if we are simply following this path of bhakti, that day is not far that Krishna will attract our hearts also. At this point, chanting and hearing may not be very, very attractive. But if we simply keep doing it again and again and again, it will for sure one day we will see the results. Oftentimes this point is brought that we hear so much katha, but I don't remember anything. अरे प्रभु जी सुने हैं, कुछ याद नहीं रहता है. याद नहीं रहता है. पता है प्रभु जी DYS में किए हैं. We have done on all these courses, but याद नहीं रहता है. We don't have to run behind remembering. Even if we don't remember, it's completely fine. Do we remember what we ate 20 years back? We don't remember. But has it nourished us? It has. We don't remember what we have eaten 20 years back, but it has nourished us. We all agree. Likewise, we may not remember what we have heard, but it is nourishing us bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. So all that we have to do is simply hear. It's bhakti starts with hearing. Kirtan is also secondary. Prahlad Maharaj puts Kirtan secondary. It starts with Shravanam. If we are simply into Kirtan but not much into hearing, then our Kirtan, it's like a Diwali gun. What effect does a Diwali gun have? You have two guns. One is a Diwali gun, one is a real gun. Now, Diwali gun, you can do tish, 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 tish. No one is going to get any effect. No one is going to get any effect. But when the real gun fires, especially in America, in India, it's a foreign topic. In America, gun, more than Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, kids have this in their school bag. So we see that a Diwali gun may not have much Shakti. Likewise, if someone is not hearing, but simply into Kirtan, it will not have much Shakti. Nor are we getting much, and nor are we able to give something to others. But if we are constantly hearing, then we have something, and we have the ability to give something. If I am Sudama, I don't have anything, how can I give $1,000 to someone else? If I am Tantan Gopal, what can I give someone else? Nothing. I can give something to someone if I have it. Likewise, we can give bhakti to someone else if we have it. Our kirtan will have Shakti when it is backed by hearing. If there is no hearing, our japa, our kirtan can never go much deep. So we start by hearing on this path the pastimes of Sri Krishna, the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Narottam Das Thakur time and again makes this point that human life is meant to hear about Krishna. If not now, when? If not in the youth, when? Is old age the time when we are going to start the process of bhakti? When we can't see, when we can't walk, when we can't talk, when we can't hear, is that the time when we are going to use our ears to hearing about Krishna? Is that the time when we are going to come in front of Radha Madhav and see the form? When the senses are weak, that is not the time when we can take advantage of this process. Time is now. Need is enormous. We have to wake up. Krishna conscious movement, I always say this. Krishna conscious movement is not just a movement. It's an emergency, dear devotees. It's like an ambulance. It's an emergency. If not now, when? Everything else can wait, but Krishna consciousness should be the center of our lives. And everything around should be to support our Krishna consciousness. Let us hold this principle in our heart. Wherever we go, whomever we meet. Jare dekho, tare kaha, Krishna upadesh. Let us hear the instructions of Krishna, and whomever we meet, let us try to give it to them. Irrespective of whether we get results or not, let us try to fulfill and imbibe and absorb ourselves in this mood that Srila Prabhupada has given us. Prabhupada never went for results. Prabhupada never cared who is listening to him. Prabhupada was never behind who is there in the audience. He was speaking for Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. He was speaking for Krishna. And because he was fully surrendered to Krishna, results naturally came. The more we do bhakti, the more we do it selflessly for Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, the more we see that results follow. But if we are simply engaged in results, then we may not get much. So let us follow in this mood of Srila Prabhupada and our Gurujan who are selflessly traveling around the world, preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also trying to inspire our hearts with this beautiful, glorious message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which starts with the loud chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can we chant it one last time, as loud as it gets? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Ram. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, such a wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you for making it so easy to hear also, making it like a story wonderfully, and still stressing on the principle of hearing, how is essential, and glorifying Jayananda Prabhu, how in the such a setting of court setting, he shared Krishna Katha, Prabhupada Katha, and then he delivered, in a sense, judge also. Wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I had one question, if you so
yes.
desire, you can share. Ask me. So, you made one point about how hearing is so essential, and here is so, especially for Kirtan to be effective, hearing is very, very important. Could you please share how hearing will help the Kirtan? Some more.
When we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or when we are into Kirtan, Sripad Aindrapa would always make this point. Who is the audience? Our audience is Krishna. Our audience is Radha Madhav. It's not the people around. The people around are there to support. Our audience is Krishna. We are singing for him. Whether someone is there or not, we are singing for him. But when we look at Radha Madhav, it's only by hearing will we understand who the personality is. Why is he standing in a three-bent form? Why is he holding the flute? How is it that his holy name and he are not different? Who is Srimati Radharani? Why is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming down? Is Mahaprabhu just coming down for holy name? Well, holy name is given even by Nityananda Prabhu. It is given by Prabhupada also. So why is Mahaprabhu coming? If holy name is the reason, then it is given by Prabhupada. Mahaprabhu doesn't have to come down. So these basic understanding can be cleared by hearing Shastra. Shastra helps us build Sambandha Gyan. Prayojan is later. Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan. Prayojan is Prem, but it starts with Sambandha. But where will we build that Sambandha? It starts with Shastra. If we are just into Kirtan, it is very, very great. It is very great, no doubt. But Prahlad Maharaj, who's a Mahajan, who cannot lie, he puts hearing of Shastra over. Because when we hear, there is attraction for the personality. And then what we chant is selfless and not materially motivated by social media or likes and followers, etc. So hearing of Shastra helps us build this mood of ahaituki bhakti, yayatma suprasidati, to make him satisfied. So Shastra is important like that. Hare Krishna.
Anyone has any questions or comments? Sorry.
Thank you, Prabhu, for such a beautiful class. I was just wondering who was that devotee or that judge devotee, if you have that.
How I wish I knew the person, but the story just it doesn't signify the name. It just stresses on the glories of Jayananda Prabhu and his surrender. So even I am not aware of who the personality is.
Thank you, Prabhu. I came to ISKCON from college. I was studying religious studies, like abroad, and just sort of my question or comment is like I'm really starting to see Krishna as a real person who was born into this world, and he says like fools deride me when I come in the human form. It's very easy to see him as like a mythological story, but lately he's been showing me like that he's a person. Maybe you could talk a little bit something like that.
Oftentimes this point is brought of the Supreme Lord being a person. My spiritual master, Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj, was one time in Dubai, and he was there in the airport. And being an Islamic country, they wanted to speak to him because he was in a orange sannyasi robes, and it was too very foreign for them, so they had not seen. So they wanted to speak to him, and their understanding. So they said that, oh, you're Hindu? He said, oh, yes. Maharaj said, yes, I'm Hindu. Whom do you worship? He said, Krishna. Oh, you're Krishna. You all say he has a form. So Srila Radha Govinda Maharaj said, yes, he has a form. He's a person. He said, we say he doesn't have a form. He's Nirakar. He doesn't have a form. So Radha Govind Maharaj said, Acha, you say he doesn't have a form? They said, yes, he doesn't have a form. So then Maharaj said, in the morning time, in your mosque, they have the azan, the loud call of the prayers. So Maharaj said, when you all do the prayers, do you think that the Supreme Lord hears? So he said, of course he hears. That's why we're doing the prayers. So then Srila Radha Govind Maharaj said, if he hears, that means he has ears. So he said, yes. If he has ears, which means he has a form. He said, yes, which means he is a person. He said, yes, which means that's the exact same thing that we are following. If you are doing the prayers, which means you agree that he can hear it. If he can hear it, which means you agree he has ears. And if he has ears, which means he has a form, which means he's a person. So our understanding is Krishna definitely has a form. There's no doubt about it. And Shastra, time and again, through various instances, even it doesn't end by saying he has a form. It gives even description to what he does, who are his friends, how he lives, and he's not a mythological figure. Because people of this world, a mythological figure, if someone calls Krishna as a mythological figure, then how do we explain the places that still exist where he performed his pastimes? How do we give a justification for that? And if we have places like Rameshwaram, where even now when we write Sri Ram on the stone floats. Now science doesn't work there. When we go around anywhere else and you put a stone, it's going to sink. But it's only in Rameshwaram that you find it correctly maps. And even from a scientific standpoint, you see many times the NASA scientists have seen from satellites, you find the exact trajectory of the path that Sri Ram built to Lanka. How do we justify that? So he is way beyond mythological figure. If we think that science is everything, well, then that same science justifies these aspects. And whether it's the Bhagavad Gita or whether it's the Bhagavatam or even whether it's Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are intricate details given about Sri Krishna. Who he is, what he wears, what he eats, how he plays the flute, which note of the flute he plays, what are the effects, all the details are given. And why would any Acharya write so much about Krishna if he was simply mythological? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful, engrossing class. Very wonderful. We all appreciated you coming here. And very grateful. So now we'll have Prashadam downstairs, and then 7 o'clock we'll have Kirtan, and then 7:20 we Aarti. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. ऊपर जाना था ना कुछ
प्रसाद ऊपर भिजवा देते
नहीं
Oh,
वो
for the
स्टूडेंट्स का
Oh, okay.
शुड वी गो कि नहीं
I didn't confirm. Is it? Yeah, we can. That will be helpful, Prabhu. Yeah, we can.
if they are there then we can
Yeah, we can bring prasad upstairs. You can prasad.